What up, what up? The NBA season is approaching. We got to bring our guys in. We got Ty now, the in-house Jazz fan. Hey, we're here in Utah. I thought there'd be a few more of us, but really, you're only a big Jazz fan. Oh, big?
Pretty much in our friend group, I'd say. Nobody else likes the Jazz here, so.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Why are you a Jazz fan, besides the obvious we're from here?
Yeah, first of all, I guess I'm from here.
Sure.
Grew up liking the Jazz all my life. My dad used to take me to the playoff games when they lost to Kobe and the Lakers. I don't know, just the vibe around the Jazz. I've always liked it. But yeah, I'm a big Jazz fan.
Okay, so who is your first favorite Jazz guy?
My first favorite Jazz player was probably Darren Williams.
Of course.
D-Will, and then Carlos Boozer was there. Mehmet Okur, Andre Kirilenko. I remember watching him and those guys kick some butt. So that was a good team. I like that team.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Remember when Darren Williams and Chris Paul were getting compared? Like, that was...
Hey, man, I will always say this. I love Chris Paul. I like Chris Paul. I don't love him. I don't love Darren Williams after everything that happened after, right? But I will say, at the start, Darren Williams was a better pick. I think he was a better player than Chris Paul to start out his career. That might be a little bit of a hot take there. But obviously longevity, Chris Paul was a way better player, way better pick for the New Orleans Hornets back then.
Hornets, yeah.
Obviously Chris Paul's better, but at the time, D-Will was kicking some butt.
CP was a MVP runner-up in just 2008, so it wasn't that crazy.
Yeah. Okay. We can argue the Jazz never get any rep, with those things. The MVP,
sure.
None of that.
Do you believe that the Jazz deserve an MVP?
Recently,
all time.
I think Karl Malone probably had some arguments for that. I think
maybe.
He did. I think he's the only one. I don't think John Stockton ever had an argument for that.
I mean, Malone also played in the Jordan era.
True. I mean, you're playing Jordan, Hakeem, Clyde Drexler was there, so it's a lot of
MVPs in that.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this season, but we got to talk about what led up to this season as well. Donovan Mitchell, 1 year removed from the Jazz, as well as Rudy Gobert. What are your thoughts? Was it a good move? Blow it up? What do you think about the direction the Jazz are going in?
Man, I like Rudy. I love Donovan, but I think it was good that we let them both go. I think it was about time. It was kind of getting to the point where it's like, I think we all knew that we weren't going to win a championship with this duo. Even though, I had tons of faith in them to start off. You remember.
Yeah.
They got close in that playoff run against the Nuggets in the bubble. But I think it's good that we moved on. I love Lauri Markkanen too. Just barely won the MIP. I think he's going to have an even bigger breakout season this year. I think it's going to be fun.
Even bigger breakout?
I think so. I mean...
What do you mean by that? Like, is this point total's going to jump even more?
Yes.
Yes. Even more.
I think about it this way. You start on the Bulls, right? He's averaging, 15 a night?
Something like that.
Pretty, normal.
Yeah.
But he's not getting the usage, I think, that he should have gotten on the Bulls, honestly. And he's still young. He was young, and he still is. He's 25, I think. But, when 25, 26 a game this last year, and that's a confidence booster right there.
Oh, absolutely. And there's no bigger one.
No, yeah, and when you've seen guys that have taken the Jazz, kind of on their backs, like Gordon Hayward did a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Mitchell, I think he's going to be the guy to do that. Jazz aren't really known for getting trades.
No, small market.
Yeah, exactly.
Tiny market.
We're never going to get a Jason Tatum or a LeBron James to come. But we can get a Lauri Markkanen to come and turn him into an all-star. So I'm hoping to see a breakout season from him this year.
Okay, so now we have this mosh pit of players that we got from the Rudy Gobert, from the Donovan Mitchell trade. And the Jazz did better than expected. A lot of people thought you were getting Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah. I think people thought we wanted to tank, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that what I was hearing? Yeah. I'm glad that we don't tank. I never want to be one of those teams. I never want the Jazz to be one of those teams, so I was pretty proud that they didn't. I think we'll get more wins than we did last year. I think it's going to be really tough looking at the Western Conference.
It's deep. It's deep this year.
It's tough. Looking at how the Mavs didn't even make it, that kind of scared me, not going to lie. The Spurs were the worst team last year, and now they have Victor Wembanyama.
Who's looks scary.
I think highly of him, so I think they're actually going to do pretty good. I don't think they'll tank another year.
The Pelicans, they're just going to be more healthy with Zion back.
My boy
and
Zion's back.
We'll
He's
see
back.
how he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to stay healthy first off. Holy.
Yeah, that's true. I think he'll last. I think it's going to be tough. The Western Conference is about to get really crazy right now. I don't think the Suns are going to do crazy in the season.
Okay.
I think they're going to go off in the playoffs, but I don't think the season they're going to be the number 1 or 2 seed. But
Okay.
I see the Jazz making the playoffs as a 10 or 9 seed, and it's going to be a race. It will be a race.
As a 9 or 10 seed, and then they win some play-in games.
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
man. We got teams like the Timberwolves there last year, and the and the Lakers. The Lakers came out of the play-in. The Thunder were in it as well as the Pelicans. So that's a tough field. And the Jazz kind of, again, this mosh pit, they moved on from a lot of their pieces that they found valuable last year, as Malik Beasley, as Jared Vanderbilt. What do you make of the team right now? You brought in John Collins. What do you think about that move? Let's start there.
I think that's a huge move for the Jazz. Very underrated player and a pickup for the Jazz. I think he could be very similar to what happened with Lauri Markkanen. I think he can come in and be a huge role player for the Jazz. How old is he too? He's still pretty young.
Oh, he's young. He's
Yeah.
26, 27.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be fun. He's going to bring those oops. Going to get those dunks in. Finally somebody that can throw down inside.
I mean, Walker Kessler was a great rim roller last year.
Walker Kessler too. I mean, we have Kelly Olynyk. He's always been a good role player off the bench. I think he's going to help. I think really highly of Keontae George too.
Yeah.
I think he was the steal of the draft, I think. So we'll see.
Keontae George over Amani Bates, still the draft?
Imani Bates is overrated, bro. Get him out of here.
Yeah, the Jazz, I think they're really counting on some of these younger guys to step up this year, because I think the backcourt is a little shaky. I mean, the front court, we've got
Sexton and
Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, who's proven to be a better six-man, still getting starter-esque minutes, but
yeah.
what do you think about the point guard play? Colin Sexton the guy? You want to see a switch there? Taylor Hendricks, Keontae George, what kind of impact are they going to have?
I think Kendrick Nunn's gonna come in.
Chris Dunn.
Yeah, no.
I think he can come in and help. But yes, about Colin Sexton, I think he is a very mediocre point guard for the NBA league. I love Colin Sexton.
Yeah, I know, me too.
I
Young
do.
bull.
I think he's a good player, but I think he's for the type of talent the NBA has as point guards, he's a mediocre point guard right now. Jordan Clarkson's going to have to step up, but I like the starting five of Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Lauri, and who else did they start?
Walker Kessler.
And Walker Kessler. That's a big lineup. John Collins at the small?
John Collins going to play 4. Lauri's been
Lauri's
playing
at
the 3.
small? Okay, wow, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
I like
it
that
worked.
lineup. I like that a lot.
It'll be interesting. The Jazz are just kind of filled with these young guys who any one of them could take off. So it's not surprising to see that one of them hit last year with Lauri, and one of them could hit again this year, whether it's unlocking John Collins' potential, whether it's Walker Kessler taking the next leap, even though he had a great rookie season. I mean, whether it's one of the rookies popping off and really turning into a star, I think there's a number of ways that the Jazz could go.
I agree. It'll be a fun season. It'll be a tough season too. I think if we can get above 500, we're gonna be looking smooth into the playoffs.
Okay. That's bold. I don't know. I don't got the Jazz in
Now,
my playoffs.
getting
but...
past the first round, that's another story. Right? As long as we can get to the playoffs, that'll make me happy. Give us a chance, because I think the Jazz players are all competitors. I think Colin Sexton is a dog, and he can compete at a very high level, especially in the playoffs. So
Okay. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. For the future, we building around Lauri? Is that the move?
I hope so.
Keep these young
he's
pieces?
still young. Yeah, keep
Okay.
Lauri. I don't know how many we can keep other than that, but keep Laurie.
All right. Well, it should be a good season from the Jazz. I'm excited. Just for basketball, close by. We'll be catching a lot of Jazz games this year, so you already know it'll be fun.
Yes, sir. Let's go.